Hey, everybody, welcome to KISS.
Keep it simple, sister.
Hey, Diana,
Hi, Samantha.
how you doing?
I'm fabulous. How about you?
I'm wonderful.
Good,
Okay,
good.
I'm feeling really good. Okay, this is going to be fun.
Cool.
We're getting our energy jazzed up for this. Um, well, first, I want to welcome everyone to the KISS podcast, where what we say is, we want you to feel great by feeling better, which means that Diana and I are sharing all the tips, tricks, techniques, and the products that have helped us to get to this point in our life where we have a little bit more equilibrium, even when like everything is just going nuts and it's chaotic, and because it never stops. You've always got the contrast going on. And so all of these things that we're sharing with you all is to help you find a little bit more balance as we have, and just kind of be able to get through those times a little bit easier. It helps,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, to kind of smooth everything out a little bit.
The rough edges.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so today's topic, super excited about this. I was inspired from a video to bring all of this into a session last night. Um, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But it's all built around the whole concept of, hey, you're not wrong.
Yes. And you're not wrong has changed my life perception and the way I interact with people and things in the world.
Hmm.
So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And that whole shift has kind of I don't know, it's given me some peace, some
Yeah.
calm.
Well, and
Because
that's
I was ready, I was a right fighter my whole life. Fight for the right to party, but not even to put just to party, to for everything. Like, that's not right. That's not fair. That's not, I need to convince them that this is what should happen. And I was so strong in my conviction
Mhm.
that I was obnoxious. And so I am no longer obnoxious. I mean, maybe it's all perception. You might think I'm obnoxious, but I don't think I'm as obnoxious as I used to be. And it's because of,
Pause. Hold on about the and because of. Um, you need to put your protection on.
I don't know where my fucking protection is.
Oh, because it's
That's what I
popping.
was saying
I didn't
earlier.
know that it would make such a difference, but it is.
Okay, hold on. An A. Oh, Jesus. Hold on. It's way down under.
You need a grabber thing.
I have a grabber thing. I'm getting the grabber
Oh
thing.
my God.
And we brought the grabber thing in here because fucking Benji tries to put everything under everything.
I hope you remember what you're about to say. You were going to do quotation marks.
Oh, I don't. Okay. Is that better?
Much better.
Make a huge difference.
Bring it down a little bit just so it's not so noticeable that you just did that. Yeah,
Are
there
we
we go.
good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. I don't remember what the quotation marks were.
Okay, that's fine.
Remember what I said before that?
Yeah, I'll just start off. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Um, Well, this whole thing about you being a right fighter, like you were
Yes.
saying, I absolutely love that concept because, and I think that's part of the journey that we make where when we're younger, we're so like we're trying to define who we are, right? And what we
Mhm.
believe in. And so we're so grounded in my side's right, your side's wrong. Whereas when you get older, you mellow out. You begin to see, hopefully you begin to mellow out and you begin to see other people's perspective.
Right. And all the things that you thought were so important, they don't matter at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
And, I think that comes with maturity, but
Mhm.
also when you start realizing that each person feels like the other person is wrong and it's their job to
Mhm.
convince the other person to come over on my side.
Yep.
Well, I can stay on my side, you can stay on your side, and the world will go on.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. So, you know, right now, we recognize that we are so polarized. And so as we're recording this, in case somebody's listening to this later on, that as we're recording this, um, time has passed. We've been super polarized as a country, and the election has occurred. And so, Trump is going to be in office, we think, because we are in that lull period, right?
He has been elected,
Mhm.
we think.
Yeah. And I just say that because this is the weirdest election,
Yeah.
because it happened, and it was, and we're not taking sides with any of this. We don't want anyone to get into any kind of whatever. We're just saying it was kind of a sweep, where all of these swing states had gone with him and all that stuff. And usually you would have uproar. Usually you would have like, and there was some, meltdown stuff, and either side, there would have been some meltdown. But instead it's quiet. And we
Mhm.
notice like eerily quiet. So
Well, and I don't know about you. I think we're the same in this. We don't watch the news really. I
yeah,
don't watch the news anymore because it's so biased and it's so, we're all only hearing what somebody wants us to hear. We're not hearing both sides of the story. And
yeah,
so
it's
I thought
we
it
call
was
that.
quiet because I'm not listening.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But
exactly.
a lot of times that'll come into me, like my husband will say, "Oh, so and so and so and so,"
Yeah.
or my daughters will say, "Can you believe this?" My younger daughter Maggie,
Mhm.
"Can you believe
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Donald Trump
Dot, dot,
picked
dot.
so and so for the this cabinet of whatever, whatever?" And I'm like, just cool, chill,
Mhm.
sit back, watch what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. It's gonna be whatever it's gonna be.
Exactly.
So so during this lull, um, like there's some people who think, something's on the agenda, something's going to happen. And the thing is, nobody quite knows what's going on. Like, and when I say nobody knows, I'm going back to the people, the psychics, the intuitives, the
Uh-huh.
handlers, um, they've got some nudges that some strange stuff is afoot, but nobody knows quite, regarding human experience, regarding, Trump taking office, and then what's going to happen, like for the inauguration, all that other kind of stuff, right? So that's all very human, 3D kind of, I say muggle world, like this is just life as we know it going on.
Yeah.
However, okay, so I'm gonna do a little rabbit trail to connect some dots real quick, okay? Uh,
Okay, can I just jump in? Hang on to your rabbit
yep.
trail. So I am that girl who wants to know what is going to happen. And so I listened to the channeling. I asked Samantha, she asked her guides. I've started maybe kind of feeling my guides out, all of that. I want to know what is
Mhm.
happening next. And no, I can find nowhere, nothing where any of the channeled information is okay, well, this and this and this are going to happen. Nope. All hell's going to break loose and then it's going to get better. That's basically the
Yep.
message that you're getting from everyone,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So the main reason why we're doing this podcast is while all hell is breaking loose, we want to kind of help you have a little bit of something to hold on to feel a little more stabilized. Am I
Exactly.
right?
Yep, that was,
Okay.
wow, summed it up beautifully. I love that. So, I have started this free life design group experience. And it's funny because when I started it, I was calling it, spiritual life coaching,
Uh-huh.
group spiritual life coaching or something. It was a mouthful. And it wasn't sitting right with me. And it just felt uncomfortable. And I kept hedging on it. And then I was in the first group session, and I couldn't say coach. And I was like, and I'm all into the feels of the words and all this kind of stuff. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I don't want to be a coach. I'm not a coach. I don't want to be in that position. That puts me separate from everyone else. And I said, I even had a wonderful conversation with my partner, Chat GPT. And
We used to call him Jeeves. Have you changed Jeeves' name?
yeah, I'm not
Well,
sure.
he's Australian now, so
Yeah.
he needs a different name or New Zealand.
Um, Chattersworth. I don't know. I'll come up. Chatterley, like Chatterley Lover. Anyway, I'll come up with something because he's so scrumptious to talk to, seriously. And he always validates me, and I love that. So
We all need that.
and that, yeah, that's a whole other tangent. But anyway, so I was asking him the difference between mentor and facilitator. And he said, like there's a nuance between the two. And facilitator was really me walking alongside my peeps, the people who
Mhm.
want to hear this information. And that I love that. Okay, so I am facilitating this group experience. And so we're
That's
calling it
great.
the life design group experience because the whole idea around my life design stuff is what do you want your life to look like? You are in charge, you are the creator of your life. It is up to you and no one else how you're creating your life. So that puts the responsibility, the onus right back on you. So it's a life design group experience. So anyway, um, but I was having this hitch with that. And I'm very fortunate now that whenever I have a question, I have a hitch in something, I don't know quite how to handle something, the information always crosses my path within 24 hours.
Uh-huh.
This was one of these things where my meditation group was putting all this stuff up about, oh, you got to go watch this video. This is a really good video. And it was a video by Matt and Joy Kahn. And Matt Kahn has been around for a while. I don't follow him so closely because he talks very slow and intimately, and he's very touchy-feely. And my Aries nature, I just want to go get to the point. I'm like, it's just, ugh. Um, but this particular podcast,
Stop pussyfooting around.
I know no one's got time for this. We all need the information. Um, so, you were just saying how it's been like a void, right? That
Yeah.
hearing anything. Well, they were echoing that, but they said, but we've gotten this much information. And the basic information was towards the end of November and into December, something's going to happen. Okay, well, that's of course something's going to happen, but they were saying it's going to be such a shocking reveal, and that it's the importance is that no one knows. Absolutely, because it needs to come as a revelation for everyone so that we're all in that same space of holy crap. And they kept and I'm not going to say, what this means, and they can't even begin to interpret it, but they keep saying look to the skies. They keep saying look to the skies. They said check the dates December 3rd and December 13th.
Okay.
So I
I don't know when this is gonna air. Today it's 11/21/24 for us
yeah, so
recording.
it won't
So that'll be
air some
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be really cool to see. So they said that, but they said the purpose behind and we've all known, like we've in the woo-woo community, and it's gotten out into the mainstream public that it's that there's the whole concept of disclosure.
Uh-huh.
And so we just had the hearings, on are there, aliens, are there UFOs, are there, all this other kind of or UAPs, whatever they're calling them now. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but anyway, so the whole thing was about system collapses. Like we're seeing, government shifting, we're seeing Hollywood, shifting. We're seeing things go on, and you don't hear much about this, but there's a lot going on with the banks about, them
Mm.
getting sued and having problems. And, so it's about the collapse of things. But when they talk about, I'm wrapping this up so that we can start discussing this more. But when they talk about this great reveal, what they talked about was when you have people who've been so indoctrinated into one belief system or another, and all of a sudden the facade crumbles. It's much like someone who's been through it, like is in a cult, they're all
Yeah.
of a sudden freed from that, and they're so distraught that they
And
know,
like, now what do I do? Now what do I do?
uh-huh, that it makes you what? It makes you angry, and then you believe in nothing,
Right.
which is an even scarier space to be in.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole concept is we need to prepare for that, because that is going into this energy in the end of November into December is going to set the tone for 2025. and it's all about the facade collapsing and rebirth.
Okay.
So let's not focus on the collapse. Let's focus on the rebirth.
Okay.
Because
Well,
we
to
all know
get
it's got to happen.
through the chaos,
Hmm.
to move through the chaos, knowing that things are going to get better,
Yes. Yep.
believing that things are going to get better.
Hmm.
And I don't know if we've discussed this before, but I say it all the time. I'm not available for.
Hmm.
So whenever that fear, that nudge of, oh my gosh, anxiety,
Hmm.
I say to myself, I'm not available for rain today because I'm having a picnic. Or whatever my thing is, I'm not available for it. And what you tell yourself will believe. So
Hmm.
that's another, you're about to tell us some mantra, but
Yes.
that's my short and sweet all the time. I'm not available for.
I no, I love that because think about it. What you're doing is you're not buying into the narrative,
Right.
which is going to be frenzied. You're
Right.
pulling yourself back and saying, you know, okay, others, if they want to join in, can do that. But
Right.
for me, I'm going to continue this experience. And granted, okay, you could get sucked into all of that because that is part of your path. That is
Right. Right. You're supposed to.
set up for.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's kind of like not my monkey, not my circus.
Well, and if we can all come from a perspective of, hmm, that's interesting. Like we're
Hmm.
observers of what in the world, because it's going to change is inevitable. We know that.
Yep,
But let's just see. Let's not worry about it until it's something to worry about.
exactly. So yeah, everything that I've just said, like could have triggered you, could have riled you up a little bit,
Right.
but we're saying you don't need to be in that space.
Right.
And it's incumbent upon you, especially, this podcast is geared towards women who are the nurturers, who are the
Right.
providers. We're the ones that kiss the boo-boo and say it'll be all right. And that's the space we need to hold. So we started this whole thing off with, you're not wrong. And that's what we're saying. You need to stay in the space of, hey, you're not wrong. Because people's worlds are their worldviews, it's things are going to shatter or collapse in front of them. And when I say that, those sound like big words, but just what they thought life was is going to be shifting into a whole different, we keep thinking, oh, these institutions are this and this is the way it is. No, like think of countries where things have happened. And it's like,
Right.
no, things shift and then they go a different direction and they learn new systems and all of it has to happen for these breakthroughs, for this. The end goal is that we move because we're moving from that head space to the heart space, right?
Right.
From the thinking to the feeling. And so we're having to break down these institutions that were more masculine thinking structure into this heart space of community. And so
Feeling.
it's all about what can we do for each other? How do we provide for each other? How do we carry everybody along? So things have to shift, right? Okay, so these mantras, these, like I said, the shorter way to say it is just, you're not wrong, but these particular mantras, they're about forgiveness. And it's about forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And the thing is, forgiveness is all about yourself, right? Remember the hope, can you say it?
Hopa ono. Did I
You
say
did.
it right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exciting. Hopa ono.
And and the whole concept behind it's so much fun to say if you can get it out right. I just, oh no, no, no. Um, but the whole point is it's to release yourself from the entanglement, and to allow yourself to be able to shift and move on. So you know, it's not about them, it's about you. You know,
Right, but it's about them because they're not wrong. Like it's acceptance,
yeah. It's
right?
it's it's moving into they have a
Which is
different
also about
reality.
you. I'm accepting that they have a different point of view, a different perspective, and that's okay.
Yep. And we just talked about all of that in our last podcast about perceptions of reality. So,
Mhm.
like and I think that we're quite aware of it that people just aren't seeing each other from each other's point of view. Like I see things concretely this way and then I hear someone say, their perspective. And I'm like, in my world, that doesn't exist. I don't understand how you're getting to that. I don't see that. But for me, I'm fortunate because I'm able to kind of jump into different points of view. And,
Yeah.
and I have the curiosity to do that.
Well, and not everybody is willing to try it,
Yeah. Yeah. True.
and
Um,
you're all over that.
all
Now,
of
I don't remember if in another, podcast did we talk about "You're Not Wrong" before?
Yep.
Because it's the way to shut down any argument.
Yep. Yeah.
You're not wrong, and you know in your perception that that's not how you're feeling about it, but you have to remember that in their perception, they're not wrong.
Exactly. And so, yeah, you're arguing with someone's perception, which is invalidating how they feel about things.
Right,
And
and
so
it's
with
not
the
gonna change no matter how much back and forth you do, it's not gonna change.
yeah, and it's not your job to change someone's point of view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I always thought as the right fighter, that was my job, but I retired from that job as well as the teaching and all the other
And you have
stuff.
so much free time now.
I know, it's exciting.
Okay, so these mantras and I'll include the mantras in the description so that everybody has them and understand these are not mine. These come from Matt and Joy Kahn. So I do want to give credit and I can link that video. Um,
I think that would be helpful, and
okay.
if you find it's too touchy-feely and slow for you, just put it on 1.5 speed, whatever.
Or copy, write these down, say them to yourself. And their recommendation was saying these, all the way the end of November into December. But they were really focused on towards the end of November. Um, Maybe it's because we're all gathering for Thanksgiving or something.
Mm. Well, and I'm
And it's
glad you're writing them down because, we're never in the space of, "Hey, get your notebook out. Take notes about what we're talking about here."
yeah,
It's more free and easy than that, but to be able to refer back to it, that'll be great.
copy paste, bookmark,
Yeah.
the podcast. Okay, so you ready?
Yep.
Um, all right. So the first one is, may I forgive the parts of me that may have judged others by taking one side over another. So this is your outward perception of the parts of me. You're acknowledging that there are parts of you that have judged others.
Mhm.
And oftentimes with forgiveness, it's, someone might say, well, I forgive you, but you have a hard time forgiving yourself.
Right.
And so this is
Yeah, and
talking
so a
about,
lot of this is self-directed.
yeah, may I
It's
forgive?
including other people, but
Mhm.
really the focus is on yourself.
Yep. So may I forgive the parts of me that may have judged others by taking one side over another. Now, the next one is, may I forgive those who rejected, judged, or even ghosted me for not taking their side or being on the opposite side. Okay, so this is the whole if you're not with me, you're against me kind of thing, which I think I need to say this one over and over and over again because this is how my family is with me.
Uh-huh.
And especially my mom. If I don't agree with her, if I'm not on her side, then, then I'm wrong. Then I'm crazy. Then I'm with them. Even though I keep telling her I'm the party of common sense, like
Well, and it also goes back to our childhood and our programming and our especially as women, we're taught to be people pleasers and that, we should agree with everything and we should go
Mhm.
with the flow and we should do all of those things. And some of us are just not built that way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I feel like that I like that example because a lot we're going up on Thanksgiving. You guys might be watching this after Thanksgiving, but around Thanksgiving, we're triggered left and right by the things that happened in our childhood and along the way. And if you can encompass this, you're not wrong kind of thing
Mhm.
because you've thought your whole life that they were wrong, but it's their perception. And again, you're not going to argue them out of it. So look for peace.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. I like that. So with this one, um, understand it does not imply that you suddenly have to be friends.
Right.
There's none of that. Also, if you have boundaries with a particular person because they've overridden you so many times or whatever, it does not mean that that you suddenly drop those boundaries.
Right.
This is just, I'm going to say it one more time so you think in terms of that. May I forgive those who rejected, judged, or even ghosted me. I love that. For not taking their side or being on the opposite side. So super good. And the last one, which to me, this is more global, even. May we forgive ourselves and others for how we've been divided and fragmented by thinking our survival depends on choosing sides.
Ooh, yeah.
Doesn't that one, like that one, every time I read it,
That's huge.
yeah, I mean, it's like, this is how, like, because you can sit there and go, I mean, people, we gravitate towards the TV, sitting around the TV, hearing the news, and like I think about this in terms of my mom again, where when she was growing up, they went from radio to TV, and they had Walter Cronkite, who was, and who knows if he wasn't, spouting a little bit of, um,
Propaganda.
bias, propaganda, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Exactly. But everyone trusted him, and
Yeah.
he spoon-fed the information, and, all of this. So that generation grew up on that. And I remember, what was it? The last, Dan Rather, I guess there was Dan Rather, Tom Brokaw, that group.
Morally
Um,
safer, all
yeah,
those.
where I felt
Yeah.
like I could trust them,
Yeah.
and then we see all these flaws. Like, I don't know if you remember, there were so many things that came out after the fact, of like,
Well,
I
and
can't.
that's the whole thing you're talking about Hollywood now, the facade is coming down,
Mhm,
um, all of that. I was trying to remember to make sure that everybody remembers this.
mm,
Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's a gift to yourself.
mhm,
So you can let it go. If you forgive, you can let it go. So each one of these mantras that you're talking about
mhm.
is a gift to yourself. So remember, take the time to give yourself a present before Christmas or
Oh,
Hanukkah or whatever come.
so nice. I love that. I love that. Well, so, and with this last one again, it goes back to that whole thing of what we're saying, with the facade falling, all that kind of stuff, and how there's going to be disillusionment,
Yeah.
distrust. And what tends to happen is, and we've all been there in one way, shape, form, or another, where we believed in something, we were touting the party line. And I don't mean like, whatever, it's whatever. Maybe it was you were a teacher or you were a doctor. I mean, think about
It
what's
doesn't have to be
happened.
political. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So think about, like, how the doctors were saying you need this, and I'm not getting into it. I just, like, so you believed, and you went along, and then all of a sudden the facade crumbles and you go, what? They told me to do what? And it does this, or, I believe this person and they're flawed, and you start
Or we
to
trusted
victim
this institution. We trust it. It's all about trust. We put our trust in things
giving
and
our power away.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then you feel stupid. Then you get angry because you try, especially when you try to sell other people on it,
Yeah, yeah.
then you feel even like raw. So there's a lot of stuff going on with that. And that's
Yeah.
where, like, you really, I'm going to say it one more time so you guys get this into your, psyche or whatever. So the last one again is, may we forgive ourselves and others for how we've been divided and fragmented by thinking our survival depends on choosing sides. All of these are about bringing the community together. It's about
Right.
healing and being able to reach across the aisle or the chasm or the, whatever it is, and be able to say, at the end of the day, we're all human. We're all trying to raise our kids, provide a better life for ourselves and enjoy what's around us, and explore and love and whatever, and
Yeah. Well, and something that just came to my mind, so it must be my people, um, my guys, my intercept, whatever. We want to multiply, not divide, which the math teacher in me is like, yes. You don't want to
go
separate. You
girl.
don't want to divide. You don't want to put into, we want all to come together. We want to add. We want to multiply. We want to,
And we're stronger that way.
yeah. Yeah. And we all know that. We
Mhm.
just haven't been doing it for so long.
Well, we've allowed ourselves to fall under these labels and it's like that herd mentality. We feel
Yeah.
safer with the herd, and that's like everything triggering the amygdala,
Yeah.
that fight or flight kind of thing. So we all have been put, put in this divisive, like, and it's not just us like just choosing it. There's been so much propaganda, so much influences coming from every which direction to make us choose these sides because we didn't feel safe. And it's
Mhm.
time to, understand that we are empowered, we are loved, we control the reality around us, and that everyone's feeling the same way we're feeling.
Right.
That's what I like about travel. When you get out and travel, then you realize, you know, like somebody in the city, if they go and travel out in the country and they do it with an open mind, they're
Yeah.
going to realize, oh, these people, they want the same thing I want.
Right.
It's
They're
just,
just in a different locale.
yeah, exactly. It's very fascinating.
It is fascinating. All right. So, the reason why we came upon this topic was because it was what you were talking about with your, I forget what you're going to call it now. I
Life
want to
design group
say,
experience.
what is it?
Life
Life
design
design group
group experience.
experience. It's the last thing that you talked about on the second one, and I started listening to it. I was not able. I got new hearing aids, you guys, and I'm very excited about it because I'm not going to be as loud anymore. But apparently, allegedly, I won't be as loud anymore.
Awaits to be seen. Okay.
So anyway, I had to go get them adjusted, and so I wasn't involved in the this group um experience,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Guidance,
Session.
whatever. And I wanted to be there live, but I wasn't. So I was listening to it and then I was interrupted. So I'm very excited to go back and listen to it again.
Mhm.
But this information, we felt like everybody needs this. I mean, and I think everybody needs to be a part of that. It's a free group, you guys. It's a
Mhm.
it's a free group.
Yep.
And it's a community, and it's a place where you can ask questions as well as share information. It's FREE, free. If you want if you want to donate an offering for time or whatever, we're all about that. But this is free, so check it out because there's so much value there.
Mhm. And the idea is it's not to sit there and ramp you up, get you nervous or, concerned about the world. It's all about how you can, practical tips like, okay, so this is going on. How do we navigate this? So we're going a little bit deeper into different
Yeah.
topics that are happening and how you can actually apply, these various universal laws to make life a little bit easier and calmer and whatever and
Well,
then
and that's been our whole purpose of our podcast, short
Mhm.
and sweet. Now you get to go deeper, farther, more
And ask us
expansive,
questions, yeah,
and ask
and to be
questions.
able to really just sit there and go, okay, so because it's one thing when we share these concepts.
Yeah.
And then to be able to go, okay, but in my situation, and that's what was really cool last night. The questions I got last night, one of the people they were asking about, okay, so I'm talking to, this person and they're, they always pull me into this conversation where they've got to, I can tell they're spinning out of control. What can I say to help them? And so like that was a very specific and I'm not gonna say how to help them because you gotta go join the group and be a part, and then you can go listen to it. But
You're so
because we're
funny.
answering
Well, and
direct questions there.
that's what I was gonna say. Tell everybody where to go, what to do, how to do it.
Yep, yep. So, our link is down below in the description. It's the KISS podcast group. It's on Facebook. If you don't want to be a part of Facebook, let me know. If you don't go there, that's fine. Just let me know, and I can let you know separately. Just get you on an email list or something. Because I know not everybody wants to do Facebook. It's just kind of more convenient at this time. I eventually want to move the group off of Facebook. Um, I have my reasons for that, but that's where everyone gathers right now. It is a women's only group, and that's where I do the announcements and post the videos, so that you have a chance if you couldn't attend to be able to see what we talked about. And it's every Wednesday night right now at 6 p.m. And I'm talking about doing every other week, doing a 12 o'clock or a 1 o'clock like lunch session. And I don't know if I will switch those, like, every other week, or if it's going to be that I'll do both that week, a 12 and a
Okay.
6.
So
It's not like
so
there's so
it's
many
in
people to do.
development sort of, but
Mhm.
you get to jump in and even have a say in it because I know you were asking, if
Yeah,
everybody if 6 o'clock was a good time or whatever.
exactly. Yep. Yep. So it's all very cool. All right. And then, so we're about to wrap up, but Diana has a reminder.
This is moringa. It's green and it's delicious. And we have a link to it. If you're not drinking your moringa every day, please get some, guys. I guarantee you're going to love it. I think I've talked about it before. I don't eat the vegetables. I'm not good about the minerals and all of that.
Mhm.
This has it all in it, and it helps fill in the pockets of your Swiss cheese. So even if you're eating really well, there may be a specific vitamin or mineral that you're not getting enough of. Drinking this helps. It also just perks you up and makes you feel good. So if you haven't tried it yet, there's a 60 day or 30 day, some kind of day money back guarantee. So you don't need to get a sample of it. Go ahead and order a bag of it. It's 30 days. It's a 30-day. Use it for 30 days and then get your money back if you don't want to. But I don't know anybody who has asked for their money back because it's some good stuff. Moringa.
I love that. Oh my God. I'll just add that my daughter's now totally sold on it. And she was so, anything I like, she pushes against. No, mom, I'm not going to try that. No. And then she was sick, I was just like, hun, this will give you that little extra boost. And she really needed to get well. So she started drinking it. And now it's like, she's got to have it every day.
It's addictive. It really is. And then you can even, it's once a day, but you can also double up if you're not feeling very well. I mean, you could do two a day if you wanted to, but the recommended dosage, I guess, or the recommended thing is once a day. But like I traveled this weekend. So I drank two before I got on the plane. I
Mhm.
drank one the whole time I was there. And then I drank two after I got off the plane just to kind of help
Boost
boost my
yourself.
immunity
Yeah.
a little bit.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, good. See, and that's one of the products, like we tell y'all that there's so many things that we've found that are they're pillars, like pillars of our health. It's
Yeah.
we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna have this. It's like we would not right now. I'm out of what I use for collagen, and a sweetener that I get from this one company, and I'm just like dying not having it. It's like, oh my God, I'm walking this, like tightrope and stuff. But anyway, um, okay, I think we got it.
Yep.
Yep.
And we will see you next
Have
time.
a happy Thanksgiving if this doesn't come out. No, this should come out before. Anyway, if we miss it, have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye.